What's going on, everyone? So, the Los Angeles Dodgers win a World Series, and what do? They go out and get another ace, another Cy Young winner in Blake Snell. So, Blake Snell, guy who has experience, been in World Series, right? He was on the Tampa Bay Rays team. He was their ace. Still 31 years old, so plenty of years left in the tank for him. Dodgers signed him to a 5-year deal, and now you look at their roster, and it is ridiculous, right? It was already, even if they didn't do anything, right? It was already going to be better next year than it is this past year, just simply because of health. Guys are going to get healthy, guys are going to get right. But now you add Blake Snell to this pitching core. They're still in conversation with Soto for potentially bringing him in. There's 5 teams that are on that list, from the Red Sox to the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, right? And I'm sure that there's several other teams that maybe trying to reach out to go and acquire him. The Blue Jays were another one on that list, but they could potentially bring him in and just really bolster their bats. Why not, right? I mean, you're pretty much locked in for the next 10 plus years, right? Like you're basically just pushing all your chips, and you're going to keep pushing your chips to the table. This is why a lot of baseball fans want a salary cap, right? I mean, there's caps, but a hard cap, look at the NBA and some of these teams, right? Like, you can't exceed that cap. Baseball, you can go forever, especially an organization like the Dodgers, right? They're making $1 billion a year. They could easily shovel out whatever is needed to keep winning World Series, especially if you win 2, 3, 4, 5 World Series, right? Like, it's if you build it, they will come. Right? If you have the success, you're going to make more money than you would otherwise. And it's LA, right? Like, this is the place to be. And the more that they kind of stack the deck, the more that guys are going to want to come, like a Soto that's like, hey, man, I go there, me, Freeman, Tony, Betts, right? Like, you just add me to that. Good luck. Like, we're just running through teams on the bat side of things. And then you bring in, Snell, you have Bueller, you have Shuei could go and pitch next season, get Yamamoto, right? Like, it's one of those things where it's just like, what else do you do if you're some of these other teams? How do you compete? How do you keep up? I mean, the Dodgers were hobbled and still were able to get to a World Series. I mean, the closest that they came to losing was that Padres series, which that's always just been a tough series back and forth, 2 storied organizations that just, the Padres have always kind of been little brother. They want to throw that punch, but then they beat the Padres, and it was like after that, it was just kind of coasting the rest of the way. And again, if you can win it, this is why Shuei and Yamamoto and all these guys, it's why Betts came when he came, Freeman came when he came, right? All these guys have came here for this purpose, for this reason, because the Dodgers are an organization that are going to keep doing what's necessary to win, right? They're an organization and I've seen a lot of talks of people that are like, are the Dodgers a dynasty, right? Because you look at the success the last, 10 years, right? So I think it's really been 7, but, you look at kind of this timeline, this time frame. I don't think so, right? The last time that they won was 2020, right? So to win 2 World Series in that time span, I think one can argue that, but you look at kind of the great teams throughout history and just the dynasties in professional baseball in particular. I mean, not even counting other sports. Usually it's 3 and 4 years, or 3 straight, or 2 and 3, and it's just this total dominance. Well, in my opinion, now if the Dodgers win next year, maybe the year after, now it's no argument a clear dynasty, right? People right now, I do think, can nitpick, and I do think that nitpicking has some validation to it, not fully. I mean, look, people are always going to hate on success. People are always going to hate on teams like the Lakers. I'm a big Laker guy, like the Dodgers, right? Like these storied organizations, even the Yankees, right? And their runs and their dominance that they've had over numerous periods throughout the sport, right? Like, you're always going to have people that either, love the team, then you get the bandwagon people, and then you get the people that just have always hated the team, and then you get the bandwagons for the people that want to hate on the team, right? So you're always going to get this kind of cluster, but this is what separates the sort of men from the boys, right? This separates. This is what championship teams and organizations that are serious about winning, that's what they do, right? You don't just, you win, you keep going, right? Obviously, you don't want to, fix what ain't broke. You don't want to start selling off things. But if you can add an ace here, add another elite bat, right? Especially a guy like Soto. We'll see what happens with him. But if they can end up landing Soto, well, now you add in a guy who is a proven playoff performer. He's a guy that has been known to step up and play big in the playoffs. And you start taking pressure off other guys. Start taking pressure off of, like when Shuey had his struggles, right? Freeman stepped up. Freeman was huge, right? Like that, and you kind of go down that list. And it's like we've seen Mookie just single-handedly go on, a batting run, and next thing you know, you win that series. Or Freeman, right? We just saw Shuey and his abilities, right? Like go and bring in a Soto. You bring in whoever else, right? Like they need outfield, right? They're moving Mookie back, right? So you have kind of this mapped out plan in your head, right? And you have this sort of vision that can present itself. And if you can see that vision through and it leads to success, why wouldn't you, right? You had a vision, you had a clear, let's go get Shuey, right? That's step one. We need to secure him. We need to lock him in. We add him to Mookie and Freeman and all these guys, right? Okay, let's go get a Yamamoto. Now we got Shuey. Now we got him to really rally and, hey, come on, like, come here. We can do this together. Let's go win a World Series, right? Boom, you secure that. Guess what happened? Boom, World Series, right? Like, and then now it's like, okay, well, what's next, right? We got the first piece to the puzzle, and, we completed the first round. Okay, well, let's go get the next round. Okay, let's go get a Blake Snell, another Cy Young winner, another ace, a proven playoff performer, a guy who's been to the big show, been to the big game, right? Like, you start going down the list, and it's like, okay, if you can continue to develop just better team and add to that championship roster, right? Why wouldn't you do that? To me, this was a no-brainer. If you had the opportunity to get Blake Snell, which I'm not going to lie, I'm a little surprised that they were able to get him. Simply just, he had other options, right? And, you do have a lot of people that, yes, want to go to a team like the Dodgers because it's like, man, like, they give me the best odds to win, right? But then you get people that are like, I don't want to go to a super team. I don't want to be I don't want to stack the deck to that degree, right? I want to beat them. I don't want to do that, right? So, there is kind of that element to it. But the fact that, this was something that was rumored, that they were able to, kind of see it through and end up getting it done, I think is huge. If you get Tio, keep him around, right? We'll see what happens with some of, what do they do with, Glass now? How do they round out the rest of the roster? Obviously, they're far from finished, is my guess. I think that they still have a lot that they need to do. But to lock him up for 5 years, and it was 5 years, $182 million, which, in my opinion, I think is a very good price for him. So now you basically, again, you the next 5 years minimum, you know what the kind of core foundation of this team is. They're all right in their prime. If you can win 3 out of the next 5, now I think you're a true-blooded dynasty, right? Now I think, okay, you rattle that off. You already got the one, right? I'm talking about the next 5 years, right? Can you win 3 out of these next 5? So really it'd be 4 out of 6, but my point, right? You got these you got this 5-year block now with Snell, and before guys start getting into their later 30s and stuff, right? Okay, if you can get this block and you can handle business and you can close this out, then I think, now we're talking a legit dynasty. I want to see them keep winning, right? Go get Soto if you get Soto. Go get whatever you can get. Stack the deck, right? You're allowed to. Why not? Right? And for those that are oh, well, and feel a different way, well, too bad. Tell your team to do it, right? You shouldn't punish a team for wanting to win. You shouldn't punish a team for wanting to spend, right? You shouldn't punish a team for wanting to do what is necessary, especially after they just won. Again, they have arguably a better chance of winning next season than they did this past season if guys can continue to stay healthy, right? Like, so, you know, we'll see how this all plays out. We'll see what kind of deferrals, right? Because there's been a lot of deferrals for the Dodgers so they can stack the deck. So we'll see what kind of deferrals Snell ends up taking. But got this run, got this peak. Let's get it. Let's rock it, right? So anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you think, like, this is huge news? Do you kind of, like, mixed on the fence? Do you kind of want to give it time, wait and see? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it either way, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.